It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good, everyone? Now, the Punch Machine event is actually out on JP now, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity to go over this in a specific manner because I do have a lot of nuke test videos on my channel, but I don't think I've ever actually gone through the process of explaining, what exactly nuking is. So most of you probably already know, but for those that don't, or just joined and started playing Dokkan recently, we're going to talk about what exactly nuking is. So essentially what it is you have nuke leads for each type, and these are the nuke leads that you see right here. Each type is specific to the type unit that's going to be nuking per se. So you've got the Agility Golden Frieza, Tech Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and then the Super Baby 2. The Beerus unit is the Intelligence type as well. The Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and also the Strength Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku. So before their Dokkan Awaken, they will provide a 30% increase to attack for every type specific key collected. So for example, the Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, for every strength key collected by any strength type unit on that team setup, will have either a 30% or 33% increase to attack for every strength type key collected. So that is how the videos that you've seen on my channel, that is how you're able to generate much higher damage output than normal circumstances. So obviously you want to go with the Dokkan Awakened units. Here's the problem though, I will say this right off the bat. It's going to be difficult looking for friends or guests that actually run these types of leads, because it's almost like an extinct breed, you know what I mean? Like nobody runs this as lead anymore. But with the event now open in JP, I expect, and I've seen this myself, and you're seeing the kind of the footage on the side there of me playing around with the Punch Machine event. But there are a lot more people that are running this type of unit now because the event's available. Now, the other thing I do want to say is right now getting that 77.77 million requirement to get the highest reward possible is virtually impossible. I mean, there's with the crits with LR Gohan, for example, and we'll talk about this later, but it is somewhat possible to get to that, close to that level. But right now it's probably more or less like when Super Battle Road and all that shit was introduced. It's pretty much meant to not be able to be completed, and then you'll have introduction of new units or new link skills that are going to help generate far greater an output toward damage than what it currently is. This is a little bit far-fetched and it's a long shot guess, but I was thinking about this earlier, and it seems like to me it'd be perfect for a new World Tournament Leader category unit to come out, and then the World Tournament category teams will have like a substantial damage boost in the event. I don't know, it just seems like befitting. It'd be funny as hell if it was a Vegeta unit, because remember, he's the one that broke the machine during the tournament. All right, so back to this. So these are the nuke leads you want to bring, depending on what type of unit you want to use, what's available in your deck, who's the strongest hitting unit with the nuking passive, because you will want a nuking passive on top of the nuke leads. So we're going to run through and talk about some of the units that have the nuking passive. So here we have a couple of units. You're looking at 20% increases for the attack boost based on the key collected, and it'll specify depending on, some are type specific to their type for the orbs, or they can be any orbs really, so it depends. But you have Vegeta and Goku unit that does increase 20%. So these aren't bad options, but the link skills can be somewhat lacking with that. Android 17 is another one, 15%. So you can see all these units have 15% increases, and it goes down to 12, and then 12, and then 10, and then whatnot. And then you'll have these other guys, like LR Gohan's obviously the favorite for this type of deal. 18% is probably the highest you'll see with the attack boost for every key collected. Easy A Perfect Cell is not a bad option either with 15%. I like the strength barley units, 15%. However, not many people will probably have him at 100% or even a couple of dupes, so he's not really the most viable option. Right now, the redstone's available to get at least 2 copies of the cell unit if you haven't chosen anything, so that's certainly an option. I wouldn't necessarily waste a redstone just for this specific event, but either way, I mean, he's a good unit, and unlocking dupe pass is definitely not a bad idea. So the Perfect Cell GT, or Angel, I guess, Perfect Cell, whatever it is also 15%. So is the Super Saiyan Gotenks as well. And you see all kinds of units with certain percentage increases based on the amount of ki collected. So you do have options in terms of, at least collecting some of the rewards. Chances are you probably won't be able to get all of them, but, just kind of browse through here. This is Dokkan Wiki, so they have it listed as to, who the units are with the nuking passives. Now there are some with the rainbow key where it's going to increase by a certain percentage rate, but this isn't necessarily ideal because you're not going to be able to collect all the orbs or key on the map just from rainbows. So more than likely you're going to want to go with some of these types of units. Obviously, like I said, LR Gohan's not a bad choice. Perfect Cell, the Gotenks unit, even Kefla. I did try it with the Kid Gohan unit as well. So you got a couple of options. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that portion of it, and then let's talk about the Orb Changers, because you can't bring any items within this event. So again, this will probably become available later down the road, but for now, no items can be brought. So the other thing too is you can't use Devilman. So unfortunately, you can't rely on that RNG chance for that slim chance to get him to hit for 99 million or whatever. But equally as important as bringing your nuking unit, based on the nuking passive and built around a nuking leader, you're definitely going to need to bring some orb changing units, because otherwise you're not going to be able to, fill the entire map or close to it with the type specific orbs or key. So these are the types of units that are going to change a certain type key into the other. We're not really going to cover the rainbow types because it's not going to benefit the nuke leads necessarily. Now, these are the units that you do want to consider, like the Agility Super Saiyan 2 Goku, Angel Goku. Not only does have the nuking passive, but also is a orb changer from strength to agility type. Also, the Android 18 is also a orb changer as well from physical type to agility. So let's say you want to nuke with the Super Agility Super Saiyan Gotenks. You want to bring in as many units that are going to convert the other orbs into agility orbs. So obviously you want to bring in like Android 18 and then the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku, or even Tarble, or other units that could potentially change it for you. So basically it's a little bit tricky, because not only do you have to bring in these units, but you also have to bring in units that are going to convert over to the strength and physical type, in case you get lucky to where the rotations work out to where they pop up after things are changed over to the strength or physical type. So in that regard, you have to look over at the other units and look at what's going to change from what's going to change it to physical types and strength types. So you can see you've got the Majin Vegeta is going to change it to a strength type from agility, however, so that negates the process there. You've got a couple of units here that are going to change tech and intelligence type key into the physical type, so you can certainly include those units as well. And then you have to factor in how can I maximize the orb changing mechanics to where everything will be set up. So each unit that you want to nuke with is going to be specific as to what types of other units you want to bring. It's probably it's definitely important to bring in units that are going to link with that particular unit, but at this point I think it's more or less you don't want to miss out on the 33% per key collected toward attack. I think the priorities are probably with that one. So yeah, I mean, this is very briefly, you don't really have to factor this in because the punching machine is not going to attack, so HP is not going to go below 70% whatsoever. This guy fortunately is a nuke lead and also has the ability to change rainbow into tech type, so you can eliminate the rainbows off of that as well. Android 18, if you're pairing that up with the LR Gohan unit, you know that has that ability to get rid of rainbows as well. This guy's another nuke lead, and so on. So this is irrelevant here because you can't use any items, but you know, for example, if you are looking at building a team with Kefla, you do want to bring in certain units like Android 18. That's going to change the tech to physical types. She's got the ability to change intelligence to physical types, so now you got to work on, you know, what can I change from other orbs to tech types, you know. So you've got strength conversion for these two units over to tech, and then depending on how lucky you get with the rotations, this guy can then change it to the physical types. Once you have some other units that have, like, you know, raised trunks, we'll change the strength types to intelligent types. Kefla is going to be able to change and whatnot. I mean, you do have to think about this in terms of, you know, who to bring. Like, for example, instead of bringing these guys for the Kefla, you want to bring in this because you already got the strength covered. Now you want to work on the agility portion. So there's different ways to go about it. And again, it all comes down to luck and how you get set up with the rotations. You know, that's really what it comes down to. So, you know, hopefully this kind of helped out a little bit. Lastly, we'll cover the missions and you know, what types of rewards. I'm not going to cover this to a detailed extent. Basically, this is 7777 which equates to 77.77 million. So the easiest way to convert this is just divide the numbers by 100 and you'll get the number you're looking for. All right, so that's pretty much what I would recommend in terms of how to get that calculation. So just divide the numbers by 100 and you'll figure out quickly what the million equivalent is. The orbs are pretty much straightforward. I mean, and the dragon stones, I mean, you guys can read it and understand how many millions or how many orbs or whatever you're going to get. So I'm not going to cover it in detail, but just kind of want to briefly cover how this actually works and potential team builds for your setup. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next time, I guess.